Let's see if I can share my screen. Here we go. So here is the moon at 27 degrees Cancer, and the sun is directly opposite of it at 27 degrees Capricorn. And as I mentioned, it's conjunct Pluto. So like I said, everything that has been hidden could be coming out, and it's going to affect you personally because it's the moon rules your emotions. And Pluto and the sun in Capricorn is all about our structures, our government, traditions that have been long running. And so there's something about that that's going to come to the surface. When I think of Pluto, I really think of like going on a cleanse. And when if anyone that's watching this has ever had a cleanse, in the beginning, it's really hard because you're purifying your body. So any toxins that have been inside of you start to come out. And so that's kind of what Pluto does, right? He brings out the hidden, the things that we wanted to ignore, and then we have to deal with them. So pay attention to what comes up during this full moon, because there might be things that you haven't seen before that you're going to have to deal with. So people that have a chart layout like this, that maybe have a Sagittarius ascendant, will have the full moon in their 12th house, which is all about the subconscious, dreams, the collective unconscious. So especially because Cancer is so intuitive, and this is about the subconscious for these people, it's a really great time to pay attention to dreams or any intuitive thoughts that come up. Maybe someone that has Cancer in their first house will be thinking about how to balance the needs of others with the needs of themselves, to feel safe themselves and to feel nurtured themselves, and not to look outside for that. So yeah, it's really interesting when you start paying attention to what house the moon is falling in your own personal chart, because it's going to affect everyone differently. Some other interesting things that are happening this month is Mercury actually just went retrograde in Aquarius, and that's why this is the second video I'm making. I had technical difficulties. And so everyone knows what Mercury retrograde is by now, but in addition to maybe things going wrong with electronics or the internet or travel and things like that, it's a really good time to revisit your thoughts and ideas and like where have you been the last couple of months, and kind of reevaluate it. But the thing that's really interesting is Mercury is going to station direct in Capricorn conjunct Pluto on February 3rd. So whenever a planet stations, whether to go retrograde or direct, it's when the planet is closest to Earth that it ever gets. So the Mercury's energy is going to be much stronger than it usually is, and it's going to be right on Pluto. And we've already been working with Pluto the last couple of years because the great Saturn-Pluto conjunction, which is really the breakdown of all our structures that we've all become so accustomed to, so we can rebuild for the future that we all want. And that happened in 2020. So Pluto this year has a very strong emphasis, because in March, Pluto is going to be at 27, or maybe the end of February, but very soon he's going to be at 27 degrees Capricorn, which is where he was when our forefathers signed the Declaration of Independence. And that's when a lot of astrologers use for our birth chart for our country. And so this is the first time Pluto has come back to that degree since then. So there's going to be a lot of topics that our forefathers discussed that are going to come up now, and already have been, like, what is freedom? What does it mean to be American? What does it mean to have freedom for some people, but not freedom for others? And if it's just a lot. And we're already talking about. So that'll be interesting to watch. Another interesting thing, Venus stationed direct, or will station, she's retrograde right now. So Venus retrograde in Capricorn is also thinking about our traditional relationship structures and our traditional approach to money and what we value. And she's asking us what we value and if we need to change our lives so that, you know, it's more focused on our values and our resources. And also she's asking us if our relationships need to be upgraded. And, you know, often during Venus retrogrades, past partners come back into our lives. Usually it's so you remember why you left that partnership and why you're no longer with those people. So it's kind of like a review of the past. But what's really interesting is when she's stationed to go retrograde, she's stationed right next to Pluto. So there's all this energy. Pluto's with Mercury, Pluto opposing the moon, Pluto conjunct the sun. And Pluto's really shining the light on all these things that have been hidden. A lot of truth is going to come out with relationships, and it could just be like the truth about how you really feel, the truth about how your partner really feels, things that you've been ignoring that you're forced to deal with. Yeah, and just when things touch Pluto, this, especially in Capricorn, structures tend to dissolve. So that's a lot of the energy for this full moon. And I'm trying to think if there's a lot going on, but I wanted to keep this video short. Another really interesting thing is the day after the full moon on January 18th, Uranus is stationing direct. Uranus has been retrograde and he's in Taurus. And so he's also very close to the Earth right now. And he's going to be direct. And Uranus is the planet of revolution and freedom and, thinking outside the box. And he's in Taurus, which is an Earth sign. And we can expect changes with the Earth. And we can expect like innovation when it comes to earthly topics. So for me, having Uranus in Taurus is very hopeful that we are starting to deal with climate change. But there's been a big square between Uranus and Saturn in Aquarius, and that'll continue on through this year. And a square brings tension, right? So Saturn, who he rules structure and time and processes, and he represents the government and law. And he's in Aquarius, which is the sign of the people. And there's a big square between Uranus, who just wants to be free and wants revolution and wants not to be confined in any way, is squaring Saturn, who's trying to like keep people in boundaries, keep them in line. And I think no matter how you view the world or what's been going on, we can all agree that governments have been really trying to come up with stricter rules than a lot of people are used to. And this whole year is about the tension between the people and freedom and the government and confinement. And it's going to be interesting how it shakes out, because with the Pluto return, there's a lot of things that are probably going to come out that will change people's minds about how we viewed the world. So Uranus goes direct Tuesday. So again, it could be Earth changes, it could be changes with tension with the government or other structures that we've been used to for a while. Trying to think what else. One of the really good things is Jupiter, who rules Pisces, entered Pisces recently. And every time Jupiter goes through a sign, he kind of magnifies it and brings blessings. So Jupiter in Pisces is a really sweet energy. And last time Jupiter was in Pisces was sometime last summer, when everything kind of opened up and we thought COVID was over. It's like that kind of energy where we like enjoy life again. And but the downside of it is kind of not having in Pisces is not having like a clear vision and like maybe thinking everything's all hunky-dory when it's really not, but it's still a really sweet time. And we all deserve that energy. Yeah, so that was a quick version of what's going on in the sky. There's so much more I could say, but in general, it's a really great time to take a look at the areas of your life where you could feel safer, where you could feel more nourished, where you can maybe look at your emotional well-being and how you respond to outside events and really take care of yourself. Because there may be things that come up that are emotionally charged, but this aspect only like lasts a couple of days. But yeah, many blessings to all of you. I do astrology readings. I'll put the link in the bio if you want to know personally how this year is going to look for you, or if you never had your natal chart done. And thanks for watching.